Right, so this is day 4 on the daily updates of building a $1 million a month business empire in public day to day. These are the daily updates. If you're new here, what we cover and things is on the left-hand side. We cover Q&A from any comments and things, which obviously we don't have any at the moment because this is day 4 and nobody's watching this, just me. So it's more of a diary for myself. We do a daily check-in just to go through numbers and things in terms of how we're doing towards our goals. And then we also go through a business debrief, a bit of open mind game planning, if you like, and sort of strategy that we're sort of putting into place. So today's date then is the 4th of April 2025, and the time is currently 9:41 p.m. in Dubai. So like I said, no Q&A. If you've got them, drop us a comment and I'll sort of give you a hand. So main focus obviously at the moment then is still the SMMA on that side of it, and obviously we've got a goal by the 10th of April. We're aiming for our 10 new clients signed up. Yesterday our tally was 5. Today we're at 6, so not bad at all. A little bit less than we wanted to be. I was hoping it would be at 7 on that side. It was a re-sign as well from an old client that left us quite a while ago, went elsewhere, and then we called her and then sort of took back on that side of it. So we ended up with 6 right in the bag on that end. Now, how am I feeling about that? Good in one sense because that's a win, but also negative in another sense because the reason we had only 1 sign up today was because we had a lot of operational drag from the call center team and things. So what I'm seeing is when we have good booking days and we have people get excited and on a high, a lot of compliance starts to slip to the side, and that causes massive issues across the board for client things, whether they they book them incorrectly, which is a big one. We do have somebody checking it, going through and fixing it, but still super long-winded if they've just booked them in the wrong time that isn't available. Massive issue. And then we have things that if they don't leave notes on that side of it. And then we have a big thing as well where we notice where a lot of our team members aren't fully self-reliant. They can be, but I sort of call it weaponized incompetence is sort of what I call it, incompetence on here. Which is they know how to do a task and they've known it before, but it's a lot easier for them to just be lazy and ask on a Slack channel. So for example, if it's a medical issue, right, they can either go on to Notion, find the medical issue, check it themselves, or if they're lazy, they can just put in the Slack channel, medical issue. And it's quite a big issue that we have at the moment internally and things where people will just ask stuff. And it adds a lot of drag. So literally probably half of my day today was sorting out a booking mistake that somebody messed up, and ultimately they lost the booking. So we ended up on 23 bookings today. Not bad of a day, 23 bookings. 23 times 49, let's have a look, is about $1,500 because we translate it and things. But we got stuck, half the day wasted, just dealing with booking mistakes and things. So what I've realized is 2 things. So 1, we really need to adopt a zero mistake policy, right? At the minute, internally, sometimes I'll let mistakes go and things just because I want to keep morale high. But I realize as time goes on, well, I've known it for a long time and things on there, that it's not feasible, right? Because people make the same mistakes and operationally it damages relationships a big time and things on that side as it comes through. So with it and stuff is we have to go through and we have to sort out and make a change. So the thing we want to do is zero mistake policy. So if somebody makes a mistake, they immediately lose their commission for that booking plus an additional one to it. Is a real penalty, and I'd recommend anyone adopting that. When we have done it, it works really well. So if someone makes a mistake, don't just take that one thing away, take double the pain. Otherwise, if it's a mistake, they'll try and get it through, because the worst that's going to happen is they lose it and they're back to where they were before. All right, if they lose double the amount, it's a risk for them to put it through on that side, right? So you want them to lose 2 bookings for the price of 1, or like whatever it's going to be. If they make a mistake and they're going to earn £5 commission, they lose £10 if it goes wrong. Same thing. So that's the first one we're going to adopt on this side, is a zero mistake policy as it comes through. And the other thing is the weaponized incompetence. So what we're going to do on that side as well is stop helping people. Is the easiest way to say it. Being overly helpful doesn't really help anyone. People are adults, they know what they can do and they know what they can figure out. So realistically now, all I'm going to do is, did you check the SOPs? Did you check the medical list? Did you check this? If they say no, I say check it. If they say yes, then I say what did it say? And get it back from them on that side of it. So we recently rolled out something called the 1-3-1 method. Can't remember it comes from the things, but if you've seen it, it's pretty straightforward, which is, one, what's the one problem? What's 3 possible solutions? And what's the one you think is going to be the best effort? Now, it seems long-winded. As leaders, you always think you can do things a lot faster, and which is why we do it. If somebody asks for a medical check, we'll say, hey, let me check for you, here it is, so we know on there. But the 1-3-1 method on that side, like I said, it gets people to think on their own, and you are going to spend a lot more to do it. But the more repetitions, you have to be strict with it. The more you repeat it, you just say, what's your 1-3-1? So if someone says to you, oh, what should I do in this scenario? What's your 1-3-1? They might be wrong, but all it is to get them to use their brains and think forward first. And you want it to be, the option you want them to take needs to be the one with the least resistance, right? So at the moment for us, the least resistance is they just ask, because they ask and they're going to get answered. So it needs to be much more painful for them to ask than to figure it out themselves, which is why we're going to stop replying, we're going to stop helping them, and we're going to just push them back to do what they should do already. Now, it's hard, like I said, because when you're rushing, you do just want to answer and get it done. But I'm more than happy to lose a few bookings and things in exchange for getting people to use their own brain cells. So that's one other thing we're doing. So the first we're doing is to get people out of weaponizing competence and get them thinking for themselves. 1, 0 mistakes. If they're making mistakes, publicly shamed, it goes through on Slack, so-and-so made a mistake, they've lost 2 bookings. So everyone knows, especially in a team environment, that really helps in a way, because it's embarrassment. If you make a mistake, you lose 2, right? The 1-3-1, also, to get them to think themselves. Every question, what's your 1-3-1? Did you check? Did you do this? And the final thing we're going to work on is, I did mention a little while, I think, in a different video we did and things, is team structure. So at the moment, the way it works, we've got around 15 appointment setters and things. They're in 2 teams. So 2 teams of like 1's 7 and 1's 8. And at the moment, all of these just flow up to me. So there's like 8 people flowing up to me, which is insane. Put a sad face on them, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to split these out, like I said, most likely into teams of 3, right? Because we need to have 20 on that side is what we're sort of aiming for. So teams of 3 is probably what we're going to sort of go for. I'm thinking that will be a fairly decent way to hit it. So it will be teams of sort of, close to 6, and one will be 6, and then 2 will be 7 on that side. And on each of these, they'll each have a team lead. So we'll level somebody up into a team lead. And then rather than speaking to all of these or all of these 20 people, all I will speak to is these 3 team leads who will feed their questions to me once a day. And they will deal with 7 individually. So it lessens that load and there's less stress as it comes through. So that's our game plan in how to manage the team itself. In terms of getting to that team, progress-wise and things, how have we done? We've hired 2 new appointment setters today. Really, really good, very well qualified. They both are going to be starting on the 14th, along with the 3rd one we have on there. So on the 14th, we've got 3 new appointment setters starting. Have high hopes for them. At least let's keep our status high, and if we need to, we can cut the bottom 10%. And then the only other big achievement things we've had on here, isn't really an achievement, actually, it's a bit of a failure, to be honest with the tech guy. Obviously, as we know, like 75% of my time is taken up on tech at the moment. So we did do the interview with him. From a technical point of view, fucking killer. Absolute G, killer to the fucking max. The issue is, his English was so bad. I asked him how his day was. I said, how's your day been? He goes, yes. I was like, pardon? He's like, how's your day been? You been up to anything nice? Yes. I was like, okay, didn't understand. I said, from a technical point of view, he's great. We'd have to translate everything, but actually working and fitting in the team, unfortunately, it's not the best fit. So we are still looking for a tech specialist. If anyone has a tech specialist, send them my way. I'll give you $500 if we hire them. But yeah, that's our updates at the moment. Like I said, a few wins, a bit of a shitter of a day, if I'm honest with you, and things on that side of it, just because we've had that so much complexity. But like I said, I think going through is really going to help out getting it in there. But that's it. Quick update for today, guys. Obviously going into the weekend to crack some stuff, crank some shit out. Stay sweet, stay golden, and I'll catch you tomorrow.